Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's live stream. We have some tunes cranking in the background. Cranking, can they crank when they're in the background? Anyway, we've got some tunes on from Creator Mix. You guys know how much I love Creator Mix. It's like the number one place to go for streamers and content creators where you don't have to worry about copyright or any of that sort of stuff. They're designed by streamers, by creators, for creators, and I just think it's awesome. I'm just keeping an eye on my playlist that it's not accidentally going to drop into something not Creator Mix. That's like a fear. That's a fear. I'm all frazzled this morning. Funnily enough, today's topic is resilience and how to stay on the path and how to, work the plan. Okay. So before I get into that, though, I want to say good morning to Home Rapid Repair. It's great to see you. Thanks so much for jumping in. Truly appreciate you coming in every week. It is amazing. Trish Does Stuff is here. Hey, Trish, I hope you are feeling better. I was reading your post earlier about how you're not having an awesome couple of weeks, so I hope that doesn't last and that the tide turns. So good morning, good evening to you all. So resilience. Funny story. Are you ready for a funny story? Sitting down, I have coffee, and when you hear the funny story, you'll see how hard that was to get. So this week I decided to do our chat on resilience. I had something come into my schedule that would have meant I had to choose between this live stream and this other thing, and I decided to do this thing, to do our live stream. And it was hard. It was backwards and forwards in my brain. I'm like, but this other thing. But do you know what? I have a plan. And my plan here is to live stream every Monday morning for me, Sunday evening for some of you, and discuss the topics around live streaming and content creation and community building that we all have. These are all issues that we all have, right? So I'm like, nope, I'm going to live stream anyway. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to apologize and not be able to do this other thing, but I'm just going to do this instead. And the person was like, no, cool, no worries, at all. And I'm like, right, cool. I made the right decision. And then this morning I wake up to no electricity. So, and my family are like cracking little jokes like, no coffee for you. Like, they obviously don't know me if they think that a little bit of no electricity is going to stop me from making coffee. Anyway, so I've got a kettle that boils on the stove. In Australia, we all have electric kettles, but I have one that boils on the stove as well. Pulled that out, and my husband's like, oh, we have got electric starters on our gas stove. And I'm just like, okay, so just use a lighter to light the stove. And so yeah, I made coffee and I got the coffee going. And then I'm in here setting this studio up. So I'm opening up all the curtains, trying to let in some natural light. I've got battery powered lights. I've got bricks. I've got a laptop that runs on USB-C power. So I've got the brick for that. I had my phone ready to hotspot the power, and laptop's all set up, and I'm just about to boot everything up to give it a test. I've got my, where is it? Did I push it aside? I've got my Boya lav mic, so it used less power off the laptop than a USB mic. Like I was still going live. I was still going live even though there was no power. And then about 20 minutes before the live stream, boom, everything came back on. So I had to just shove everything off the desk, set everything back up, fix up half the lighting wasn't working, and I was just like, what's going on? I had to run around like a crazy person fixing all that up. I had my instant coffee. Now I've got my coffee machine coffee. So we're here. And that was all aside. That was aside from why I was doing this and why I was running this resilience live stream. So just jumping back into the chat again after story time. Barbara Howe is here. Hey, Barbara, it's great to see you. Us Plus Dad. Good to see you as well. Florida Manufactured Home Living. Great to see you, Russell. Great to see you. Chantelle is winning in spite of roadblocks. Yeah, and I feel like a winner this morning. I feel like a winner because this is the thing. I'm going to bring up the definition of resilience, okay? Resilience, the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties, or the ability of a substance to or object to spring back into shape, the elasticity. Okay, so I'm more looking at like number one here, the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties. Now, if you know me outside of the internet world, you know that this is not me. I'm that person that I feel things. I don't cope well when things don't go to the plan, and like when it comes to live streaming, it's like if something goes wrong, it's like whatever, I can fix that, cool. And it seems like I may be resilient, but as a human, I'm less resilient. And resilience is a skill. It is something that you practice and you learn. You're not just born with resilience. I mean, you're born with some resilience. Children bounce, apparently. But I'm not a resilient person. I'm that person that if I get constant knockbacks, that I really have to dig deep to keep going. And I mean, I suppose that's probably a definition of resilience, really, because I do keep going, but I find it really hard. It's not easy for me. It's definitely difficult. I'm just going to have a look here in the chat. I must say, not all homeowners know you can manually light the gas stove. Way to go. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Let's have a look here. Easy on the coffee. I'm decaf now. Oh, no. I have 2 cups a day, but they're just both quite close together in the morning. And then sometimes, some at night if I've got to do a Nick Niven live stream. Have you been reading the Stoic philosophers? No, I have not. I should probably do that. So, all of these things, life, everything, it throws things at us. It throws roadblocks in our way. And it's really easy. It would have been very easy for me to go this morning, oh, well, no power, not live streaming. All right. Sorry, I'm just pulling on my monitors. It would have been really easy for me to just be like, oh, well, whatever. And like, you can. Seriously, not everybody has backups of everything. Like, it's just who I am. I grew up in houses that constantly lost power. I have an entire drawer full of candles. Like I've got things like to work around how to do things. I get the notice that the council's going to be turning off the water for 5 minutes, and I've got 7 buckets of water in the lined up in the bathtub. I'm that person. So, when I was like, oh, I've got no power, I'm like, well, I keep my laptop charged and my phone's charged, and I've got lights that can run from battery power and all that. So I was able to continue on. It wouldn't have looked the same, for sure. Probably wouldn't have sounded the same. Definitely wouldn't have been any music. But, I have options, and you can go forth and you can do these things. So me not being a resilient person, me being a person who does, need a minute. I need a minute when I'm down. I need to just curl up in a little ball and just breathe for a minute and then come back at it. And I'm trying not to do that this year. Last year, I let things get to me. I let so many things get to me, and I stopped streaming on this channel. And I don't want that to be who I am. I don't want that to be what this channel is about, and I don't want to be that for you. So I made the decision to not be that, to continue on and to forge on and to not rely on, input from others as much. But one thing I will say is when you are not a resilient person, when you are a person who needs that minute to just regroup, having people around you, like humans, like that are just like, you've got this, you can do this, or have you thought of this, or that can help you to sort of kick you out of your little spiral and just go, oh yeah, I can do this, and then just dust yourself off and come back. So let's have a look in the chat here. Girls want to do a live stream today on a busy day. I was a grumpy dad trying to get the thumbnail and every set up. Not resilient. Do you know what? We all have days where we're just like, it's hard. Everything is hard. But pushing through and getting it done is the thing. if you don't hit the like button, Chantelle will crochet your feet together. No, she won't. I won't. I will look at you sternly. That's what the awesome Be Right Back screen is for. Yeah, like that's the Be Right Back screen is really great if something happens while you're live. Like that's an awesome thing for while you're live. But if you've got to set everything up first, somehow you've got to get to the place to put that Be Right Back screen up. So this week is like, okay, I'm going to do this stream on resilience, and then it's just thrown all these things at me to be like, okay, let's just write notes about that, and oh yes, we'll add that in as well. So it is, being resilient is a skill. It is something you can learn. It is something that you can get better at over time. I am not the poster child. Definitely not. But I'm somebody who knows that we need this. And we know that there's things that we need to read and learn and understand about just forging ahead. So over on my Fiberific channel, that channel has been going since 2016. So that's a mumble number of years. That's quite a few years. And it is a slow growth. It's a slow growth. And I've actually had other creators come back like, why don't you just ditch that channel and start another one and just do the right things from the start? And I'm just like, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to do the right things from now and go forward. And the things that I did over there that and the not right things was a few years ago, I was time poor and I gave up on my VOD or my video on demand or my, pre-recordeds and just live streamed. And I watched my channel growth just tank because not everybody is there for a live stream. And that's something you need to remember about your channel as well. Not everyone is there for the live stream. I know of channels that have got, 1.5 million subscribers and they rarely go live. But when they do, they only have a couple of hundred people show up. And it's because their audience is not used to them live streaming and it's not there for their live content. Their audience is there for the content that they regularly put up. So understanding that you need to slowly grow and build and change these things using your resilience to let it happen and be prepared for any stalls or knockbacks. And just keep forging ahead. Have a plan. Sometimes, now I will say this, sometimes you do need to look at your plan and go, was this plan ridiculous? Was this a bad plan to start with? Or has the situation changed and I need to adapt? Because these things still need to be taken into account. You can't just have your plan and go, I will do this plan no matter what. This is the plan, because things can actually change. Things around the plan. The end goal may not actually be your dream end goal anymore. Your plans and your goals might change. So you need to tweak your plan or your big picture plan to actually get you to where you want to be. So my suggestion for today is, do you have a plan? And if you don't, maybe sit down and write one out. Have a think. Have a think about what it is that you actually want. And I'm not talking subscriber goals here. I'm talking, what is it that you actually want out of your YouTube channel? What is it that you want out of a live stream? And have a good, deep think about that and decide what it is you actually want. So I'm just throwing all this out there. I'm just throwing it all out there. Let's have another look in the chat here. Legal Miner with Karen says, your strength gives us encouragement. I'm glad to hear that. I don't know how much strength I have, but whatever I have, I will share. Let's have there's a bit of chatting backwards and forwards going through. Let's have a look at this one. I looked at many channel live stream viewers before I committed to going live every week. Yes, I learned that most viewers on YouTube will never click on a live stream or a replay. Look, I'm gonna be really honest here. I'm not a big fan of replays. I'm really not. If I can't join a webinar live, I tend not to watch a replay. I like the live experience. Unless it's got something I really need, I will likely not watch a replay. And that's just being really honest. However, if I see something's live, I'm like, I'm going to go and check that out. What's happening here? I want to see this. So, it's definitely different audience, like different viewers have a different thing that they enjoy, and having a good spread of these things on your channel now. Like back when shorts first came out, like the big thing was make a separate shorts channel because it could really affect your channel. And now it's actually easier to fold it in. It's easier to have it all on one channel. Like I know of creators that have separate live streaming channels so that their live streams don't affect their VODs and things like that. But now a channel is more like a network channel. And so you can have these different shows or different formats on the same channel, and it's not negatively impacting as it did at the beginning of some of these things. And this is the other thing, like as new products come out, giving them a trial and a test, it's actually a great idea, because your audience may love something that you're doing now that you didn't do 6 months ago. So always give things a trial and test. And I have learnt a trial and a test is not 1 or 2. A trial or a test is more like 3 months worth. You've got to give them the opportunity to realize it's there every week. Do we like it? So let's have a look here. I've told my subs why I have not downloaded. I was going to do a community post, but that seemed cold. So I'm thinking I'll do a short video. I don't actually think community posts are cold. And if you are in a situation where making a video is awkward or difficult, then especially considering like the seriousness of your health, don't feel like you have to. A community post and a message on your most active social media is enough. Okay? So you don't have to do this. Like if you want to, that's a whole nother story. And if you've got the resources or the bandwidth to just do it without it affecting your health, I'm looking at you right now, Trish, then that's fine. But if a community post, you can be really open, and you can make it something where people can sit down and just, understand something. So it's up to you, but you've got the choices. I don't think a community post is cold. It just would depend on how you write it. So if you are here and you're watching the live, please throw your questions into the chat, whether they are about resilience, live streaming, community building, or YouTube in general. Feel free to throw them in. I may not be able to answer the questions, but I will certainly try. I'm going to have another sip of my coffee while we do this, so bear with. Hang on, I'll just drop that down. There we go. So I have a question. If for anyone in the chat who's willing to share, is there a time where you made the decision to not do something that you regret, that you didn't have the resilience to push forward on? I have plenty of those stories where I was scared or nervous or whatever, and I just did not go ahead. And, learning through some of our past decisions can help us to be prepared for future decisions. It would have been really easy for me this weekend to go, you know what, I won't live stream. I'll do this other thing that I normally do when it arises. And I didn't. I was a little bit like, okay, I've already got a commitment at that time. And I was backwards and forwardsing. I was like, oh, should I not? Should I? Oh, and then I was like, no. I made a commitment to you guys just before Christmas that the first Monday for me after New Year's, we would be back. And that is today. So we are back. Make hay while the sun shines. Absolutely. What is in that coffee cup? It's just straight up coffee and milk. You can't see it. It's coffee and milk. It's getting a bit cold. So let me have a look here at my notes. Alrighty. Oh, there is I usually push through the difficult times and only quit when things are calm, and I feel totally comfortable with my choice. That is awesome. I love that, because how many times have we made a decision in the heat of a moment that when everything's calmed down, we're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. That is definitely the way to do things. Just keep pushing until you've had the time to think and calmly make a good decision. Love that advice. Love it a lot. I am that person that I don't like quitting. I don't like quitting anything, truth be told. I will push and push and push. And in Australia, I don't know if it's a saying anywhere else, but like flogging a dead horse. So it's like, I'm just going to keep going, even though the whole thing is collapsed and burned, but I'm going to keep pushing. So, you know, oh, you meant the cup. It's just, yeah, survival juice. So, yeah, just pushing and pushing too fast. Sometimes I don't know when to actually quit. Sometimes you need to quit and move on to something else or change your plan or whatever. And it's like, no. So I'm usually the person who just keeps pushing because, you know, I don't know what else to do. But then when something gets me down, then I stop for a little while. So, and that's what I'm trying to, as it says, to recover quickly from difficulties. I'm trying to learn how to recover quicker. I don't recover quickly. So yeah, it's one of those things. So I don't tend to withstand so well. And I don't tend to recover quickly. And while sometimes it appears that I do, it might be something that plays on my mind for a long time. And last year I had to make some decisions. It was a heavy decision time earlier last year. And I realized it was just like going round and going round and round and round in circles. And it was just no decisions were being made and nothing was happening. And I was focusing too hard on the issue. And I realized I need to do something and let my brain, you know, solve the problem, right? So for me, that means crocheting, right? Like I'm this person where if I can keep my hands and eyes active, so I had like all my normal crazy TV shows that I like to watch on, and I crochet blankets. Now, it can take me quite some time to crochet a 6-foot blanket, but I was knocking them out in 4 days because my brain was trying to mull over this thing. And so I was just crocheting, and I was just really hard focused on the crochet to try and just get these things done. And yeah, in 3 weeks, I knocked out 3 blankets. So it was that was smaller blankets, but yeah, they were still all done and finished. And then my brain was able to help make the decisions I needed to make. Hence the stopping of crazy speed crochet. I was invited on another channel, but the channel's guest said that it was not. But the channel, I was invited on another channel, but that channel's guest said was not real, that I was AI. At first I was upset, but then I decided to make a funny video of it. So you were a guest on another channel and one of the other guests were like, you're not real, you're AI. Really? That says so much about that other person, honestly. But yes, I love that you decided to make a funny video about it instead. Kind of like Daniel Batal and his Not a Rockstar video, right? Like as Trish said before, make hay while the sun shines. So that is bizarre. Did they give you a reason why they thought you were AI, or they were just like, you're AI, you're AI? No idea. That's so weird. That's so weird. So there we go. So bizarre. Okay. So while we're coming up with our stories of things that you're resilient about and the things that you just, you know, need some strength to push forward on. If you've got anything that you want me to help push you with, you tell me. I'm here to push. I'm seeing that some of you are live streaming regularly and I'm loving it. And I'm seeing some of you that aren't, and I'm wondering why. So if you've got questions, please throw them in. Hang on, Trish says, I imagine a room in your house that is filled to the rafters with blankets. You're not far from wrong, honestly. I'll definitely, I'll go in and watch the clip later on. There's quite a few. I do gift quite a few. I do gift them. So a lot of my family members have crochet blankets. So, yeah. And it's one of those things that I don't sell. I don't sell my handmade items because when you work out the actual cost of the materials and how much time it takes, it's not worth selling. No one will pay what it costs. So, yeah. I think people are shocked when you tell them how much yarn goes into a blanket, like as in like how many dollars worth. Like you can easily spend up to $150, $200 on yarn for a blanket. So, and they're like, oh, can you make me this blanket for $30? And I'm just like, no, like not at all. It's definitely one of those things. I learned that some people are what's called knit worthy, those people that are worthy of a gift of a handmade persuasion. And in learning that, it's actually helped me to pigeonhole people a little more when it comes to, are they worthy of my time? So has anybody else recently been getting a lot of SEO spam in their inboxes and DMs? And because I've been getting like an absolute crazy amount. And, I've got some friends, and Doug's done it as well, who like respond to them to see what happens. And I'm just like, oh man, I don't have the energy to deal with that. I've got the energy to deal with this. This little thing over here is annoying. Definitely not going to respond. Just delete. I tell them to supply the wool and the wages. Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what's really funny is I have taken commissions before. Many years ago, I actually used to be a stitcher for a designer. So I did, work for a wage kind of thing in that regard. But I learned that I actually like to choose my own projects. So, yeah. And then when I went live with the channel, the guy that thought I was not real apologized after he saw me live. Yeah, good. So he should. Honestly, that's insanity. Wow. Yeah, no. So he should. Before Christmas, it was insane. Yeah. Before Christmas here was insane as well. Because, we have a very small house with a lot of stuff in it. So you could just imagine, okay, it's untidy. It's not dirty. It's just untidy. There's piles of yarn, piles of books, crates of dog toys that you're constantly putting the toys back in. We live in this house and I work in this house. And at the moment, my husband's working from here as well. And so, we're here all the time. So it's not like this picture perfect cookie cutter house, right? It's used. And because it's small, you've kind of normally got to pull stuff out to get to something and then put the other stuff back. But, if you've got to pull that out and grab this thing, but you're going to put it back in 5 minutes, so you leave everything out and then you have it for an hour or whatever. Anyway, you guys know what it's like. Everyone's lived in somewhere small before. So this place is like that. And then we have to pull it apart for Christmas, basically, to fit everybody else in. We have to sort of rearrange the entire house. And then just to top everything off, I was replacing my desk. So my husband was able to secure me a very nice quality sit-stand desk from his office that they were shutting down. And so we had to get my other sit-stand desk out of this room, and we're like, that desk was the first thing in this room, wasn't it? Are we even going to be able to get it out? And we did. It took some finagling, but we did. Because the doorway is narrow and it's got to go through a narrow hallway. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely done that before, but now there's shelving and these drawers and everything that we're making. Anyway, we worked it out. We did it. Now we have a desk in our living room. Don't know how I feel about it yet. One of the things I like about it is this room has no cooling, right? There's no ceiling fan and there's no air conditioner. What's the temperature right now? Let's have a look. Right now, it's 9:30 in the morning here. And it's currently 30 degrees. Oh, it's 26 degrees, feels like 30 because of the huge, absolutely huge amount of humidity that we have. So 30 degrees, what is that? Is that 80s? That's late 80s, I think. I don't know. Someone else will have to do the math. But yes, it is. It's very hot here, and this is a little room that actually faces full sun for majority of the day. Well, it gets like it's on the pivot point of the house, so it gets sun all day. And one of the things I love about having the desk in the lounge room is I can just take my laptop and just sit directly under an air conditioner or directly under a ceiling fan. So the catch is my laptop is not a Mac laptop, so anything I've got to do for a stream or anything like that, it's a bit trickier. But most things like emails and typed scripts and all that sort of stuff and planning, all that can be done. So that's good. Let's have... What about when you pull the stuff out but cannot fit it back in because it's too much effort? Yeah, we're not going to discuss the clothes pile because I have a set of drawers and the clothes are in front of the drawers. So yeah, that's a discussion that my husband wishes that I would have. Like, why can't you put these back in the drawer? Or like, I do not understand, and run away. Add new lounge suite to your situation. Oh, yes, that's right. You got a new lounge on the weekend, didn't you? Oh, the weekend before Christmas. Yeah, it's very hot. It's very hot here. And it's very humid. And this room is loving, is basically what it boils down to. So having the option to work in another space that's not the couch, because that's what I was doing. I would just go and be like, I'm just going to go and work on the couch and just sit with my feet up on the footstool and laptop in my lap and work on the couch. So bad for my back. So bad for my back. So now I've got a desk out there. But the lounge room, while it's quite a large living area for the rest of the house, it's got some stuff in it. You know, it's got like two lounges, like as in a 2-seater lounge and a 3-seater lounge, and a single chair that's got its own footstool. The TV unit. Then there's a big hutch thing that's full of DVDs and all the games and stuff. There's a bookshelf. There's another bookshelf. There's a piano. Like there's already stuff in that room, right? It's full. It's full already, and we just filled it some more. I don't have any bedroom closets at all, just entry and under the stairs. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know how I'd go with that. I have drawers. I live between two Great Lakes. Humidity is crazy. Yeah. It's and like adjusting and doing things because of the humidity is always an interesting one. Okay. Ooh. I just got notified that a parcel is arriving today. We bought a new air fryer. Ha 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 ha. Air fryers are a big thing for you guys. Like in Australia, air fryers are a big thing. And I have a feeling that it's such a big thing here because like when you turn on the oven, you heat the whole house up, right? So an air fryer, you can just turn it on, bake the thing, turn it off. You don't have to like let the oven preheat for half an hour, like baking the entire house. So yeah. I'm very excited for the new air fryer. The old one's starting to get a bit meh. Let's have a look here. All right. So I'm like thinking about our topic of resilience that we have for today, and about the things that we can do to be resilient on our channels. Who here in the chat has made a content plan and then not kept it? What was the thing that stopped you from not keeping your content plan? Let me know in the chat. Definitely let me know in the chat. Well, now that my phone's back on and doing all its things, there's like a million things. I'm going to turn that over so I can't see because I'm being distracted by all the like. lots of drawers. My son got me a mid-century Swedish drawers because I'm mid-century. Oh, geez. I mean, I like the idea of more drawers. Like, that's cool. But the reasoning behind the particular set, that's funny. All right, waiting for more information to come out by officials. Okay, so definitely sometimes our plan is reliant on other people. But do you have a plan B for, okay, if I can't do this thing because I've got to wait for these other people, what can I do instead? Is there like a behind the scenes? Is there like an alternative viewpoint or something else that you could do so that you still get to keep your plan? So, because like as we were mentioning in the beginning of this stream, I'm a person who has backups for the backups for the backups, right? So I have this microphone plus a USB microphone up here. So if something happens to this, I've got that. And then, you know, I've got this light. And then if something happens to those, I've got others I can throw up really quickly. But I also had backups that aren't reliant on power. So I have my lav mic, which I can plug directly into my laptop. I've got battery powered lights. I was going to be using, I've actually got like 3 of these. Look, here's another one. Bing, 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 all the different battery powered lights. I had my laptop ready and my phone was going to hotspot the internet. So backups on backups on backups, excuse me, so that you are not reliant on other people, so that you are not waiting for someone else to save you. Oops, here we go. I always meant to make a plan, just something always gets in the way. Okay, well, you've got a bit more time on your hands over the next however long, and you need to be replanning some regular parts of existence. So maybe now is a good time to sit down and think about what it is that you want from your channel. You've been putting work into it for a long time, and what is it that you want out of it at the end of the day? So let me know. Like if you know what it is you want out of your channel at the end of the day, not just Trish, but everybody else as well. What is it that you want at the end of the day out of your channel? So because it's easier to make a plan when you have a goal. Okay, so and not just a like airy fairy, like, you know, better quality of life or whatever goal, but not that that's not a good goal, like that's a great goal, but something tangible that we can work towards. So it's so much easier to make plans and make goals than if we are just going with the flow. Let's have a look in the chat. Frankie over 50 has made it. You are some hours behind me. It's still early for you. It's still very early. That is when I work on a short, learning how to make a video out of a comment. Doug Houston tattoos are great. They're really good. Ernesto YT, great to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, that's the thing. You got a little bit of time. You can be doing some planning. Measurable goals. Thank you, Jerry Papandrea. Yes, measurable goals. Frankie says, I just want to upload weekly. So why do you want to upload weekly? What makes you want to upload weekly? Like I'm the same. I want to have a weekly live stream and then one other piece of content on the channel every week. So that's my goal for both of my channels. So both my channels get a live stream each. And then the trick is getting the extra piece of content. Now I'm allowing myself a short from a live as well, so that makes it a little bit easier. I do have the backup plan of Opus clips running through and grabbing some cool stuff out of the various lives. So if you subscribe to this channel, you've probably seen a few of the lives come through on previous interviews that I've done with other creators. So you know, having that plan for the uploads is a great idea, but what makes you want to do those uploads? So for me, my goal, all right, I have a few goals. The goal for this channel is to help other people. It is to help people not stall where I stalled. It is to be the bridge of information, if I can be, to give you an alternative viewpoint that might help you to make a decision. That's one of my goals. So I have my goal of regular uploads. I have my goal of helping other people. But all of these things are leading in towards another goal. And one of the things for me is I love helping people. I really do. It's how my business, everything is around helping people. So my day-to-day work is helping other YouTube channels with a various task or something. So I do different things for different people. But I like helping people. I don't need to be the face of it. More often than I actually prefer not to be the face of it. But I like being in the background and helping people. So having my live streams and having you guys here helps me to help you. And it fills my cup of wanting to help people. So that is my ultimate goal, is to help people with their channels usually, or their live streaming. Creator Classroom is here. Hello, loving your new thumbnail. Loving it. It's not a thumbnail. Profile pic. Rebel Canners is here. Awesome. Trish says, I don't want fame. Extra money would be nice. I like sharing what I'm doing and telling some stories along the way. So, that is definitely storytelling. It's an art form, honestly. It really is. And sometimes just being able to share what you're doing with people outside of yourself, and outside of the circle of people that you sort of live with or physically hang with, having those stories go further is a nice feeling as well. Hey, oh, thank you. Yes, please smash the thumbs up, make it sparkle. Absolutely. Trish Does Stuff says, it's nice that we can frow together. Bigger channels are helpful, but they aren't here. Oh, grow together. I was thinking maybe there was a word I didn't know. Yeah. And this is the thing, right? The issues that small channels are having now are different than the issues that I had when Fiberific was at the same size as this. They're different than what some of the other channels who are much larger now. And it's very good and well and easy for us to say, and while I technically agree with it as well, don't focus on the vanity metrics, focus on the content. I agree with that. It is easier to not focus on the vanity metrics when you've already hit a certain vanity metric. Do you know what I mean? And trying to consciously not focus on monetization. You guys know I'm trying to get this channel monetized. It's one of my goals, and I don't have a time frame on it because I know that the only thing I can control is the content that I upload. I can't control who watches it. I can't control who subscribes. I can suggest, I can request, but I can't literally hold people down until they hit the button. So all I can control is the content that I make. And by making better content and by making content that people want to watch, they'll be more inclined to do these other things. So it does feed on. But yeah, let's have a look here. I want to make other women my age that you can still have fun at 50 and help them laugh at themselves. We can all struggle together. I think that I'm not quite 50 yet, but I'm very close. I think that I find it easier to laugh at myself now than I did when I was younger, honestly. But we get into this mindset of we're running out of time. And understanding that we're not running out of time and that we've got time for all this stuff. I think that's an important thing. I love that. I love that that's your goal. True story. I actually said, okay, 90s yearbook picture pose and jokingly took it. And wouldn't you know it, it looked the best. That's hilarious because you're right. It is a 90s yearbook pose. I still have 90% who watch, not subscribe. See, now technically that's actually a great thing. Right. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want a better ratio of not subscribed to subscribed. That means that YouTube is still pushing your content out to new people and to new eyes. And that is awesome. What I would like to see is a higher subscription rate, but still 90%. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I want everything. I want all of the things, okay? Because it means YouTube is still showing your content to new people. If you've got only like, say, 70% are subscribed and 30% aren't, it means that people who aren't already drinking the Kool-Aid aren't getting in, aren't enjoying your content. So that subscribe and not subscribe number, that is actually more encouraging when it is the larger number is not subscribed, because it means it's being pushed out to wider audiences. Focus on what you can control, and the number of subscribers isn't something you can control. Absolutely. Having talking with people about their plans and helping other people pull plans together. When I ask what their goal is and they come up with a subscriber number, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now let's come up with some other goals, because that's actually not a goal you can work towards. That's something that happens as a byproduct of other goals. So yeah, while I want to get this channel monetized, right, and I'm not going to lie about it, I do want to get this channel monetized. While I want to do that, having the subscriber goal is not actually going to help me, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm nowhere near the watch hours, so I need to focus on making content for people to watch, because there's obviously not enough content there for people to watch. So focusing on the watch hours, getting that content out there, creating things that people are interested, creating tutorials that help people with their live streaming journeys, creating these live streams where I get to chat with you directly, which I absolutely love doing. It's my favorite part of the whole YouTube journey, is chatting with people and talking with other creators. And I don't always get that opportunity. It's like probably some of you here in the chat don't have a lot of creators in your daily life. Now, I'm pretty lucky. I do have a couple. So, and I even have, excuse me, one or two that are local, so I can visit. And I know that not everybody has that. So having someone that you can backwards and forwards talk to about creative content, creative topics, because my husband's actually getting a lot better, but like a couple of years ago, I tried to talk to my husband about stuff and he'd just glaze over. Like, he'd listen, but it was obvious he was thinking about football. So, whereas now he'll actually come to me going, hey, have you seen this video about this? And I'll be like, oh, no, I haven't. Let me have a look. And so it's very, very different. Doug's back. Awesome. Great to see you, Doug. Yeah, we were just chatting about you. If you create content, they will come. This is one of those things, right? Yes and no. Okay. Yes. And if you build it, they will come. It's one of those things that I technically don't agree with. If you make something good, if you make something enjoyable for someone else, not just for yourself, if you make something that will help a specific kind of person who is actually the viewer that you're aiming for, then they will probably come. But just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping. Why I say this, Rebel Canners, is I've seen channels that have thousands of pieces of content. Thousands. Like, they've got, 1,500 videos up, 2,000 videos up. They've put them up over 5 years. And they've kept going and they've kept going, but they haven't adjusted or changed to what their audience actually wants. So their videos get no views. They have no subscribers or very low subscribers, and they're frustrated, which wouldn't we all be if we'd made thousands of pieces of content that no one watched? Wouldn't we all be? Especially if, like, some people just make content because they like making the content. They actually don't care about the views. It's kind of a hobby. That's cool. That's a whole different person. We're not worried about them. The people that are wondering why their channels aren't growing when they're making this kind of content. So you need to go back and look at your content. You need to look at your videos that are actually getting the most views and make more content in a similar style to those, whether it's a similar topic or a similar aesthetic. You'll have to play with it and change it and check it. But just throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks, that's new channel. That's new channel stuff right there. That's when you're working out what content you want to make. Other than that, you need to start making content that resonates with somebody. Here we go. The Perth YouTube Facebook group has monthly meetups. I really need to drag myself along. Yeah, you do. You do. There was some meetups here for Brisbane, and I went along and I realized, okay, these are all teenagers. This is weird. But there's another group that's trying to start up that's like for more, let's just go with experienced humans. I think it's for older people. I'm going to go along to that one and see if that one's a bit more my speed. I love my creative friends. Me too. Me too. We understand like the frustrations and what's a win, you know, like the positives and the negatives. Oops, hang on. I am awestruck by the number of creators on YouTube and can remember exactly. Oh, okay. Yes, there are. There's so many creators on YouTube. Sorry, I just had to reread that for a second there. There are, is it 1.5 billion accounts, I think? And I think that the big thing, the huge thing for us to remember as content creators is when we are setting our goals, when we are looking at a subscriber goal, what have you, for our channel, remembering that only 2% of YouTube channels ever hit 10,000 subscribers. Like, can you imagine being in the top 2% of a field in the world? Like, we don't need the 100,000. We don't need that. We don't need 1 million. And I'm not saying, like, let's not aim for the stars. I'm just saying that to be the top 2% of a field is pretty dang good. Like, really. Paradox? Yeah. Oh, was it millions, not billions? Sorry, 61 million creators. Maybe it's 1.5 billion accounts, but 61 million that upload. I always get mixed up. There's so many stats out there, honestly. I just saw a documentary on a train model. It was so amazing, but under 50 views. So sad. I really think about all the hot topics. Like this thing, like everybody's got this little sneaky peek interest, something that tweaks their interest, right? Like my husband loves watching those long train videos where there's just a camera on a train and you're just watching where it goes. He loves sticking those on. To me, it's like watching paint dry, but he enjoys it. And so there's all these different little niches on YouTube that are just fantastic for different people. Experienced is better than mature. I agree. I'll send Abby as a ref. Yeah. I don't know if I want Abby as my ref. That number blew me away when I first heard it. Yeah. She looked up creators. Yep. Yeah, it's insanity. It's absolutely crazy. But having a realistic goal makes it easier to actually plan and work towards a goal. So like, I want to have 100,000 subscribers on my channel. That's great. That's a cool goal. That's more of like I have goals, I have dreams, and then I have pipe dreams. That one's a pipe dream. That one's just like coming down the pipe to the dreams. It's not even in the dreams yet. You know, so oh my gosh, I never realized I was somebody. Thanks, Chantelle. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like Russell, you've got like you're well and truly in that top 2%. Like well and truly, you're not even hovering. You're like pushing up, like to 1.5%. So yeah. Oh, there's 2.7 billion accounts. See, like I can't even get that one right. And 80 million subscribers to Premium. I am one of the subscribers to Premium. So, where are we? Doug's talking about body of work. Can you, because my brain's jumping around a bit today. Doug, I know you're probably busy, but could you like expound upon that? That would be great. So yeah, so actually having a realistic, and like by realistic, I don't mean like, you know, low end goal, right? Like I just mean something that you can actually really push towards, something you can actually really aim at and hit. So having these subscriber goals is not actually something that you can really work hard at and win. So, okay, so I'm this person, right? I don't make New Year's resolutions. Because when I don't hit the goal, like if it's pass or fail, and I fail, it gets me down. It brings it back to this whole resilience thing. And it takes me a while to bounce back. Like, why bother making goals? I never hit the goals. Oh my God, blah, all these sort of things. So it is definitely like, I don't make goals like that. I make goals. Well, I make seasons of focus is how it is. So I have a season of focus. So I have a season of focus for my health, right? So rather than going, I want to lose 10 kilos by the end of the year, which would also be a great goal for me, I have a focus of health, because what invariably happens is I go to the doctor, I get the okay to go and get some sort of working out happening. That starts working. Then another health issue shows up and goes, hello, I'm going to eat away at the time that you have for this other health goal. But in the meantime, you're going to the doctors, you're getting things sorted out, everything's working well over here. But this goal of the weight loss has been pushed aside while you focus on this greater health issue. So when you get to the end of the year, you may have solved 5 other health issues that are fantastic, but you didn't do this one little thing that actually starting it is what showed all these other things up. Technically, you failed. So I have a season of health. So I make sure that I'm focusing on my health. So if a byproduct of focusing on my health means, that I've lost weight, focusing on my health means I've gone to, like last year, I started seeing an exercise physiologist and a dietitian. So I was able to work them both working together, and everybody's happy. My GP is happy and everyone's happy. And I happened to lose some weight. So that was cool. And also I didn't break myself, which is also cool. Let's have a look here. Rebel Cannons is saying you can't make people subscribe, but you can make content, is what I meant. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you are 100% right. You can't make people subscribe because we can't lean through their screens and push the button for them. But we can make content that makes them want to hang around and makes them want to. You may need to remind them that subscribing is helpful. 100K is unattainable. It's pie in the sky. Right now I'm heading towards 5K and 10K, but those aren't my goals. Yeah, and this is the thing. There's nothing to say you can't hit 100K, right? You totally could. But something would need to happen. And what is that thing that needs to happen? So you can focus on doing these other things that get you to these mini goals first. He has many words, yes. Doug has lots of words. As a non-tech farm with daughters that want a Roblox channel, it was crazy and humbling getting a silver play button. Absolutely. That puts you guys in crazy stratosphere level. And I think it's amazing that you're doing that for your daughters. And I'm always really blown away by people who do stuff like this with their kids, because I couldn't think of anything worse than a Roblox channel with my daughter. But in saying that, she also went in and out of love with Roblox. So whereas it sounds like your girls have always loved it. So that's cool. Just go 3 feet at a time and you can clamp try and read the words that are on the screen, Chantelle. Just go 3 feet at a time and you can climb Mount Everest. Even easier if you can already see yourself at the top. Just do it at a sustainable pace. I love that. I love that. Preaching to the choir? Yeah, it is a bit like that. It is a little bit like that. Doug would be multitasking. I'm assuming Doug's at work, actually. Play button was awesome, but when subscribers reach out and say you're our favorite or the biggest fan, that means way more than the play button. That's the thing, right? It's absolutely the thing. I'll be happy with 500, but right now it has to wait. No pushing. Yes, Trish, you have other focuses right now. Your focus is you and to get you better. So absolutely, absolutely. You can be planning and pushing towards personal health and personal healing. So you can be doing that. So yeah, it's just definitely, you need to be looking at your goals as something that you can actually win at. So sometimes you need to reframe what is a win. And so, yeah, you need to just reframe and I'm not saying don't have lofty goals. Sometimes the lofty goal is what drives us. And I mean, I have lofty goals. So, you know, one of my things is I'd love an air conditioning unit right there. Right there. But it's like, you know, I got a quote and I nearly cried. It was like $2,500. It was just like, yeah, that's not where I'm at right now. That is not a priority. Yeah, that's right. On a different live. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, Trish, you better be resting. Yes, exactly. I have 3 happy planners. Goals are us. Yeah, like, you know, and I think also planning to have a balanced life. It's one of those things that as creators we sometimes forget. It's really easy just to keep pushing on the grind, especially those creators that already have like a full-time job and they've got families and they've got, you know, all these other things that already take a huge amount of their hours of a day because like everybody else, they still only have 24. So they've already got all of these things, but then also wanting to do this other thing. What is going to actually give them the better life is really what it comes down to. So if you have any final questions for me, throw them in the chat. We have, believe it or not, hit our hour. I'm a bit shocked, but we have. And yeah, it is not that I won't keep chatting if you've got more to chat about, but I've got no more notes. My notes are exhausted. A dehumidifier surprisingly keeps a room cool as it takes the moisture out of the room. They do work, but it's like we've got full sun beating onto a wall. It's not just humidity. It's pretty full on. So yeah. Right now, I use the air conditioner from my daughter's bedroom and suck it into this room with a fan that's like on the floor in the doorway. But yes, having some goals and having some little goals, like little mini goals, something that you can hit, even if it's like a little once a month hit. Like you don't get a massive reward for that, but you get like a little whoop boost. Like, you know, yay, I did that thing. Like for me, a mini goal for me is that I want to have 8 pieces of content on each of my channels each month. So that is a live stream plus one other thing each week, basically. And that is one of my that's my content creation plan for now, but it's also a mini goal to hit that because I'm like, I don't expect to go from barely live streaming on this channel to going boom, 4 million pieces of content, but I want to ease into it. So when I hit that and start consistently doing it every month on both channels, I will have hit that mini goal and I will feel wonderful. I know it. Chantelle can keep chatting. Shocked. Yeah. Whoops. Where are we? I forgot what that was in. Oh, wait. It was growing a channel. You need a body of work, content library. Yes. Okay. Yes. Body of work. All right. Yeah, you do. You can't just expect your channel just to blow up with 5 videos. You do need a body of work, but you also need to make sure that your body of work is like not just 1,000 videos of the same sort of thing that nobody's responding to. So yeah, I'm glad you could make it, Trish, and I hope you rest well. I forget that the other side of the world is hot right now. Yeah, and it's real hot. It's really hot. Yes, you absolutely have to celebrate your mini wins. Oh, I should tell you, this channel has hit 2 mini wins this week. One of which is we have hit 1,000 watch hours. Now, it is not the 1,365 days, but at the lifetime of the channel, we've hit our first 1,000 hours of views. So that is awesome. But also we hit 25,000 views on the channel. So I'm very happy about both of those mini wins that hit for this channel this week. So you can do the January live streaming, then February maybe live with a video or two in a month. March hits a small goal complete. Yeah, so I'm already doing the live streams every week. Well, I skipped it because we had Christmas Day and New Year's Day were public holidays on Mondays here, so we skipped those two plus the one beforehand because my office was not my office. So I've got to get back into the swing of that. But yes, so we already have the 4 live streams sort of locked in. And I do make shorts. So while I would prefer there to be not just a short a week as well, but I would prefer it to be an upload. I'm creeping closer. But yeah, I think by March I would be in the habit for it happening on both channels. That's a great point. Us Plus Dad says, you, Doug, and Nick are the best. Oh, thank you. I feel really like what's the word? Like when I'm put in that company, like between Doug and Nick, like that is, I feel good. That makes me feel good. Thank you. The big wins. I think they're big wins. Yeah. I think they're great wins. They're like showing that the work that I'm putting in is paying off and people are watching. So, and they're enjoying it. So one of the things I love about actually TubeSpanner is how like vidIQ and TubeBuddy, they give you like these goals of like subscribers and views. On TubeSpanner, if you go in and check out your TubeSpanner account, I actually think there's a link in the description. One of the things is how many likes you've gotten, how many comments you've gotten, so you can see the interaction as well. So I like those too. I like all of those. I'm missing holidays doesn't count. Excellent. Then I am on plan. I'm on plan. You could even take 10 minutes out of your live and put together an edit from that. I could. I'm not going to. I'll be honest. I won't do that. What I will do is I will put my lives through Opus and try and pull out any nuggets that way. And then focus my energy on a fresh piece of content because there's lots of tutorials and things that I want to make. I want to make total walkthroughs of StreamYard and Ecamm and OBS and all that sort of stuff. Give everybody some options for their live streaming. And we'll start from like the basic stuff and then sort of step in and any new changes and things like that. So that's the goal. That's the goal there. And just different tools like for me, right? Like when I made that Be Right Back screen, I use my Be Right Back screen all the time on my other channel. Like it's a 2-hour live stream. Someone always knocks on the door. Like it's ridiculous. There's always a courier delivery or something that just happens to happen on a Thursday. It drives me up the wall. Oh yeah, I love the weekly recap. Absolutely. I get those as well. And I don't always win. You know how you've got to like, which was your video that got the most views? It's like, I don't know. But my managing moderators video gets a lot of views, so it tends to win every week. I thought maybe it's different this week and try something else. The answer is no, it's that one. But yeah, like there's lots of options that we could all do as well. Like we're talking about the things that I can do on my channel. You could be doing similar, like everyone else here could be doing, thinking about what it is that they could be doing. Like, what is it that you're doing right now? What's your end goal? What do you need to add or subtract to help you to smooth your way to that goal better? So that's how I plan. I used one of my December lives and made 4 videos from it for February because I simply haven't been able to film. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love that you're reusing your content like that. That is a great way to do it. Absolutely. Oh, I just thought I saw a spider. It was not a spider, but I just thought I saw one. I was here the other night, just quickly before I go. I was here the other night, modding Nick's live stream. So it's like 2 a.m. and I nearly have a heart attack because this giant moth flies across, but really low on my desk. And I thought it was a really big fat spider, but it was not. It was a moth. And my heart was in my throat. And I was just like, because it brushed against my hand. And I'm just like, oh my God. Anyway, on that note, I will see you all here next week. Keep an eye out for the little shorts that pop up at the moment. I'm going through the interviews that I've done with some really amazing creators and grabbing some little nuggets from those. So please watch the shorts as they pop up. And I've got some plans for some videos, but I'm not sure how I'll go this week. We've got extra people in the house all the time now. So I have to think about how it is that I can do these things. They're very considerate, which is good. But at the same time, I am self-conscious of knowing that they're just there. Anyway, what's this one here? Doing zoomed positioning and overlaying B-rolls that I can't do. Oh, excellent. That's great. Us plus dad is off. Hand pink waving. All right. So we'll see you all next time. Be good. Get streaming. And don't forget you can send me messages and ask questions if you need some help with something through the week. Always around. So let me know. Bye now.